Twisted family, cheated love. I once believed love could conquer everything. I believed that loyalty, devotion, and quiet sacrifice could fix a broken family, could soften greedy hearts, could turn betrayal into gratitude. I was wrong. Love does not heal toxic blood. It only gives cruel people more time to destroy you from the inside out. For 3 years, I married into the Carter family, one of the oldest upper-class families in our city, a household covered in perfect white picket fence illusions while rotting completely behind closed doors. I married Liam Carter, a man who swept me off my feet with expensive dinners, slow midnight talks, promises of forever, and gentle touches that made me believe I had finally found my safe place in the world. I was 22 when I married him, fresh out of college, naive, hopeful, stupid enough to think that a wealthy family's polished reputation matched their inner morality. I had grown up humble, raised by a single mother who taught me to value kindness, honesty, and loyalty above money and status. When Liam chose me over every wealthy socialite throwing themselves at his feet, I thought I was blessed. I thought he loved me for my heart, not my quiet temperament, not my compliant personality, not the way I never fought back, never argued, never disturbed his perfect family image. Liam's family was everything but perfect. His mother, Victoria Carter, was a cold, calculating social matriarch who cared only about reputation, wealth, and maintaining her family's elite status in high society. His younger sister, Haley Carter, was a spoiled, manipulative, jealous 20-year-old college student who had always been the center of the family's world. Growing up, Haley never had to work for anything. She got every luxury bag, every designer dress, every expensive vacation simply by opening her mouth and throwing a tantrum. The entire family bent over backward to satisfy her endless vanity and greed. From the day I walked into the Carter mansion as Liam's wife, Haley hated me. She hated that I had stolen her brother's attention. She hated that I was living in the mansion she believed belonged only to her. She hated that I was calm, mature, and respected by household staff, while she was known for tantrums and drama. Worst of all, she hated that I had pure, unconditional love from Liam, the kind of love she could never manipulate or control. For 3 years, I swallowed every insult, every scheme, every quiet act of sabotage from my sister-in-law and mother-in-law. I cleaned up their messes, attended every boring charity gala to uphold the family image, smiled through every backhanded comment, cooked for every family dinner, supported Liam's business career silently, and never once asked for anything in return. I loved Liam genuinely. I trusted him blindly. I believed that as long as I stayed loyal, patient, and gentle, he would always protect me, always choose me, always stand by my side against his toxic family. That was my first fatal mistake. Love in a toxic family is never equal. It is always one person sacrificing while everyone else takes, and takes until there is nothing left of you. The first red flag appeared 6 months into our marriage. Haley began planting expensive jewelry in my closet and lying to her mother that I had stolen her limited edition accessories. Victoria confronted me publicly during a family brunch, humiliating me in front of distant relatives, calling me a gold digger, a thief, a low-class girl, who did not deserve the Carter name. I cried to Liam that night, begging him to believe me, to defend me, to see through his sister's petty lies. Instead of protecting me, he sighed, held my face gently, and told me to be the bigger person. "She's young and insecure," he said softly. "Just let it go, baby. Don't start family drama over small things. I love you, that's all that matters." I believed him. I forgave his family. I swallowed my pain again. The second red flag came a year later. Victoria secretly opened joint bank accounts under my name without my permission, attempting to siphon my personal savings to fund Haley's luxury shopping sprees. When I discovered the unauthorized accounts and closed them immediately, Victoria exploded in rage, screaming that I was selfish, ungrateful, and destroying family unity over trivial money. Once again, Liam comforted me with empty promises, telling me his mother was just stressed, just worried about Hayley's future, just misguided. He begged me to tolerate their behavior for his sake. Because I loved him, I tolerated it. I tolerated endless disrespect, endless schemes, endless greedy attempts to take advantage of my kindness. I thought the worst they could do was manipulate my reputation and steal small sums of money. I had no idea they were planning a massive, irreversible betrayal that would shatter my entire marriage, drain my life savings, and ruin every piece of security I had built for myself. I had no idea my own husband would stand silently beside them, letting them destroy me slowly, hidden behind his gentle, loving facade. My name is Elena Bennett Carter. Before marriage, I was Elena Bennett, a self-made freelance financial analyst with a 7-figure personal portfolio I built entirely by myself starting at 18 years old. Every dollar I owned was earned through late-night work, endless research, risky independent investments, and years of strict financial discipline. I never took money from my parents, never relied on anyone's support, and never asked Liam for a single cent after marriage. My entire fortune, totaling $1.2 million, was fully premarital asset, legally documented, privately filed, and completely separate from the Carter family's wealth. I kept my savings in a private offshore trust account only I controlled, hidden safely away from the entire Carter family precisely because I knew how greedy and untrustworthy they were. I never flaunted my wealth. I never told anyone the exact amount of my savings. I lived modestly within the mansion, wore simple clothes, drove an ordinary car, and acted as if I was completely dependent on Liam's income. I did this to keep the peace, to avoid triggering their greed, to protect my hard-earned future. But the Carters were never satisfied with peace. They were obsessed with taking everything I had. Over the years, Hayley and Victoria had been secretly spying on me, tracking my bank behaviors, asking household staff questions about my finances, and pressuring Liam constantly to force me to hand over my savings to fund Hayley's extravagant lifestyle. Liam always denied knowing the exact number of my portfolio, always told them my money was minimal, always pretended to protect my privacy. I thought he was shielding me. I thought he was my only safe person in this cruel family. I was completely wrong. Liam knew everything. He knew exactly how much I had. He knew every detail of my private trust. He had known all along, and he had been silently helping his family plan their massive betrayal behind my back. The final disaster exploded on the night before my 25th birthday. I had planned a short 3-day business trip to another city to attend an international financial summit, a trip I had scheduled months in advance. I told Liam goodbye with a kiss, hugged him tightly, and left the mansion early in the morning, completely unsuspecting of the nightmare unfolding at home. Before my car even reached the airport, Victoria and Hayley had already prepared professional lockpicking tools, hired a private technician to bypass my room's security lock, and broken into my private study inside the Carter mansion. My study was the only private space I had in the entire house, a room I always kept locked, where I stored my original identity documents, trust account verification papers, encrypted USB files, and private financial records. I never allowed anyone inside, not even Liam. I thought my private space was safe. I thought my husband would never betray my most private boundaries. While I was flying across the state, Victoria and Hayley ransacked my study thoroughly. They flipped through every drawer, searched every file, scanned every hidden cabinet, and finally found my hidden encrypted folder containing all my trust account information, my private bank credentials, and my personal identification verification codes. With the help of a hacker Hayley had secretly contacted online, They cracked my secondary verification system, accessed my private offshore trust, and began transferring my entire life savings bit by bit. They worked methodically, carefully, greedily, splitting my $1.2 million between Victoria's personal investment account and Haley's personal spending account. They transferred every single dollar, leaving my once seven-figure trust completely empty, zero balance, nothing left for me. They did not do this impulsively. This was a months-long, premeditated scheme. They had waited patiently for my out-of-town trip, knowing I would be busy with meetings and unable to check my accounts frequently. They had coordinated perfectly, covered every trace, deleted early transfer logs, and planned to deny everything once I returned home. Their plan was simple: steal all my premarital wealth, use my money to buy Haley a luxury sports car, a designer jewelry collection, and a down payment for a high-end apartment in the city, then pressure Liam to force me to forgive them, claiming family unity was more important than my personal assets. They were fully confident I would forgive them, just like I had forgiven every previous betrayal. They thought I was weak, obedient, and blindly in love with Liam, too afraid to fight back against my husband's family. What they did not expect was my extreme financial vigilance. Even while traveling, I had real-time balance alerts enabled for every single one of my private accounts. While I was sitting in the summit conference room listening to a keynote speech, my phone kept vibrating non-stop, flooding with system alerts, showing massive successive withdrawals, trust account depletion warnings, and unauthorized overseas transfer notifications. My heart dropped instantly. My hands turned cold. I quietly stepped out of the conference room, leaned against the hallway wall, and opened my banking app with trembling fingers. The screen displayed a brutal, devastating truth: my $1.2 million life savings, every penny I had earned since I was a teenager, was completely gone. Zero balance. All funds transferred out in less than 3 hours. Every single asset I had spent 7 years building had been stolen from me in my absence, inside the home I shared with my husband, by my own mother-in-law and sister-in-law. I called Liam immediately, my voice shaking but controlled, cold and sharp despite the panic swirling inside my chest. Liam, someone broke into my private trust and stole all my money. $1.2 million is gone. Do you know anything about this? There was a 2-second silence on the line, a split second of guilty hesitation that told me everything I needed to know. Then Liam spoke in his usual soft, gentle tone, pretending shock and confusion. What? That's impossible, baby. No one in this family would dare touch your money. Are you sure it's not a system error? Maybe a temporary bank glitch. Don't panic, I'll check immediately. His fake concern sounded so warm, so genuine, so loving. Yet I could feel the cold lies seeping through every word. I knew in that moment he was fully aware of everything. He had known his mother and sister were planning to rob me blind, and he had chosen to hide it, chosen to let it happen, chosen to protect his toxic blood family over his own wife. It's not a glitch, I said flatly. Every transfer record is clear. Every destination account belongs to your mother and your sister. Liam, did you help them? Instead of panicking or defending me, Liam's tone shifted subtly, turning defensive and impatient. Elena, don't be ridiculous. My family would never steal from you. You're overreacting. They probably just borrowed some money temporarily without telling you. It's family money now that you're married to me. Why are you being so cold and suspicious? Borrowed? Temporary. Family money. My blood boiled. Every single penny was my premarital asset, legally mine and mine alone. They did not borrow. They robbed. They broke into my private room, hacked my secure accounts, and emptied my entire life savings while I was away trusting them with my home and my marriage. And my husband dared to call this a temporary family loan, dared to blame me for overreacting, dared to defend their criminal behavior. Liam, I said slowly, every word sharp and final, if you don't make them return every dollar immediately, I will report this as criminal theft. I have full legal proof, full access logs, full evidence of their forced entry and unauthorized hacking. This is a felony. Liam laughed softly on the phone, a cold, disappointed laugh that shattered every last illusion I had about our marriage. Elena, you're really going to call the police on my mom and my sister? Over money? After everything our family has done for you? You married into this family, you accepted our status and our home, and now you want to destroy my mother's reputation and ruin Haley's future just because of some savings. You're being selfish and ungrateful. Selfish. Ungrateful. For a moment, I could not breathe. For 3 years, I had given everything to this family. I gave my time, my energy, my kindness, my patience, my youth, my unconditional love. I never took a single thing from them. I never asked for their luxury, their status, their wealth. I only kept my own hard-earned savings to secure my own future. Yet in their eyes, I was the selfish one for refusing to let them steal my entire life's work for Haley's vanity. I ended the call without another word. I no longer had any desire to argue, to explain, to beg for justice from a man who had already chosen his toxic blood over his wife. I did not waste a single second. I immediately contacted my private legal team, instructed them to freeze both Victoria's and Haley's newly funded accounts, locked every transferred fund instantly, and submitted formal theft evidence to the financial regulatory system. Within 20 minutes, every single dollar they had stolen was completely frozen, inaccessible, unable to spend, unable to transfer, unable to withdraw. They could see the money sitting in their accounts, but they could never touch a single cent of it. Back at the Carter mansion, Victoria and Haley were celebrating wildly, completely unaware that their stolen fortune had already been locked down. They were ecstatic, triumphant, proud of their successful scheme. Haley had been dreaming of a limited edition $1 million jewelry collection from the city's most exclusive luxury boutique for over a year. She had begged her family repeatedly to buy it for her, but even the wealthy Carters refused to splurge such a huge sum on her impulsive vanity. Now, with my stolen money in her account, she believed she could finally have everything she wanted. Victoria happily drove Haley to the downtown luxury jewelry district that evening, dressed in her finest designer coat, walking with the arrogant confidence of a woman who believed she had successfully robbed her daughter-in-law blind. Haley strutted through the boutique doors like a celebrity, scrolling through the most expensive diamond necklaces, platinum bracelets, emerald sets, and custom ruby rings the store offered. The high-end staff greeted them with extreme hospitality, assuming they were elite VIP clients ready for a massive purchase. For over an hour, Haley picked greedily, tossing aside ordinary jewelry, demanding only the most rare, most expensive, most exclusive collections. She finally selected a full set of custom diamond jewelry worth exactly $200,000, a limited edition watch worth $80,000, and a pair of rare sapphire earrings worth $50,000. Her total bill reached $330,000, all of which she planned to pay with my stolen savings. She posed proudly in front of the store mirror, admiring herself, preening for the staff, convinced she had finally defeated me, finally stolen my security, and turned it into her own luxury glory. I told you she was weak, Haley bragged loudly to her mother while the staff prepared her invoice. Elena is nothing but a quiet, boring fool. She works so hard for her money, and I get to spend it effortlessly. She deserves to lose everything for thinking she can replace me in my brother's life. Victoria nodded proudly, patting her daughter's shoulder. From now on, all her money is yours, baby. We'll drain every last dollar she has, buy you a new sports car next week, and upgrade your apartment. She's just an outsider wife. She has no right to keep her wealth from our family. The moment the staff finished scanning all the luxury items and handed Haley the card machine, Haley confidently inserted her bank card, ready to complete her massive splurge. The machine processed for 2 seconds before flashing a bright red error message: transaction failed. Account fully frozen. No authorized payment permitted. Haley froze completely, her smug smile vanishing instantly. She tried again, pressing the payment button repeatedly, growing more irritated each time. Every attempt failed identically. The staff grew confused, trying different payment terminals, different processing systems, but nothing worked. The account was completely locked, blocked by official financial security protocols. This is impossible. Haley shouted angrily, drawing stares from other customers in the boutique. There's over $700,000 in this account. I just got the money today. Why is it frozen? Fix your machine immediately. The professional boutique staff checked the system formally before responding politely but firmly. This is not a machine error. Your bank account has been officially flagged and frozen by the financial regulatory system due to suspected unauthorized fund transfers and security violations. No outgoing transactions can be processed at this time. Victoria's face turned pale in an instant. All her arrogance, all her confidence, all her triumphant pride shattered in a single second. She pulled out her own phone and opened her banking app, her hands visibly shaking. Her account, which held $500,000 of my stolen dollars, displayed the exact same status: fully frozen. All funds under official investigation. They could see the money clearly in their balances, but they could not spend a penny, could not transfer a penny, could not withdraw a penny. Their entire greedy scheme had collapsed instantly, crushed by my immediate legal counterattack. Panic and humiliation flooded mother and daughter instantly. They had spent an hour showing off, bragging loudly, acting like untouchable elite VIPs in front of the entire store staff and wealthy customers. Now they were exposed as frauds, people trying to splurge with illegally obtained frozen funds. Whispers spread across the boutique instantly. Customers stared and whispered. Staff exchanged subtle, judgmental glances. The atmosphere turned brutally awkward and embarrassing. Haley's face burned bright red with rage and shame. She had never been humiliated like this in her entire spoiled life. She had been so sure she would walk out of the store with hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of brand new luxury jewelry, so sure she had defeated me completely. Instead, she was publicly shamed, exposed, and trapped in the most awkward public situation imaginable. Victoria, desperate and furious, immediately called Liam, screaming into the phone hysterically, crying and complaining, blaming me for everything. Liam, come here right now. Your wife has frozen all our money. She locked every penny we transferred. We're stuck at the jewelry store, everyone is staring at us. She's humiliating your own family in public. Fix this immediately. Make her unlock the funds. Liam rushed to the boutique within 10 minutes, speeding through downtown traffic, expecting to find a small family misunderstanding he could smooth over with gentle words and empty apologies. He expected minor drama, minor embarrassment, minor conflict he could mediate easily. But the second he pushed open the boutique's glass door and saw the scene unfolding inside, he froze completely, stunned, speechless, his face draining of all color. He saw his mother red-faced and hysterical, his spoiled sister standing in the middle of the luxury shop surrounded by expensive unpaid jewelry, surrounded by staring customers and judgmental staff. He heard the quiet whispers, saw the mocking glances, witnessed the absolute public disaster his family had created. Most importantly, he finally saw the full truth of their greed. They had stolen my entire life savings, just to splurge on useless luxury jewelry for Hayley's vanity. They had robbed me blind for nothing but empty, selfish pleasure. For the first time in his life, Liam was truly ashamed of his mother and sister. For the first time, he realized how evil, how ungrateful, how destructively greedy his family truly was. All his blind family loyalty shattered in that single moment. All his excuses for their behavior vanished. He stood frozen in the doorway, completely dumbfounded, unable to say a single word, overwhelmed by shock, guilt, and humiliation. Victoria immediately ran toward him, grabbing his arm aggressively, continuing her hysterical accusations. Do something. Make her unfreeze our accounts. She's doing this on purpose to destroy us. She's jealous of Hayley's beauty and youth. She's taking revenge on our family for no reason. Hayley joined in, tears of rage streaming down her face, throwing a full public tantrum in the luxury boutique. Brother. She ruined my day. She ruined my life. She stole my money. Make her give it back right now. Watching their shameless, delusional, entitled performance, Liam finally snapped. He turned toward his mother and sister, his voice cold, sharp, and furious for the first time ever. Enough. Both of you stop lying right now. The entire boutique fell silent. Everyone stared in shock. No one had ever seen Liam yell at his mother and sister. He had always been their gentle, tolerant, protective son and brother. You broke into Elena's private room, Liam continued ruthlessly, his voice shaking with anger and guilt. You stole her entire premarital fortune. You hacked her private trust. You robbed her blind while she was away working honestly. And now you stand here screaming like victims, trying to buy $300,000 worth of luxury jewelry with her hard-earned money. You have no shame. No morality. No decency at all. Victoria froze, stunned by her son's sudden rage. We did this for our family. She's part of this family now. Her money belongs to us. No. Liam shouted loudly, shocking everyone again. It was her private legal premarital asset. She earned every penny alone. She never took anything from us. She never asked anything from us. And we repaid her kindness by robbing her completely. I can't believe I defended you. I can't believe I doubted my wife. Hayley screamed through her tears, I'm your sister. You should choose me over her. You've always loved me more. Why are you taking her side now? Because she's the only good person in this family. Liam's voice cracked with guilt. She loved us sincerely. She tolerated every single one of your schemes. She forgave every betrayal. And we destroyed her trust completely. We don't deserve her kindness. We never did. Liam stood in the middle of the luxury boutique, completely defeated and humiliated, realizing he had spent 3 years blindly defending a toxic family while hurting the only person who ever truly loved him. All his gentle words, all his loving promises, all his marriage vows were nothing but empty lies, because he had failed to protect me when I needed him most. That night, I returned home from my business trip early. I walked into the cold, quiet Carter mansion, ready to end everything. The second I stepped through the front door, Victoria and Hayley rushed toward me, screaming, yelling, accusing me, attempting to bully me into unfreezing their stolen funds. They called me cruel, vicious, vengeful, cold-hearted, and selfish. They demanded I forgive their theft immediately, demanded I release all the money back to them, demanded I continue tolerating their endless greed and schemes. Liam stood behind them, quiet and defeated, his eyes red with guilt and regret. He walked forward slowly, reaching for my hands, his voice broken and desperate. Elena, I'm so sorry. I messed up. I failed you completely. I knew they were planning something, but I didn't stop them. I was cowardly. I was blind. I let you get hurt. Please give me one chance to fix this. I'll make them return every dollar. I'll punish them. I'll protect you forever. Just don't leave me. I looked into his regretful eyes, and I felt nothing. No love, no sadness, no anger, no hope. Only empty, exhausted indifference. Trust once broken can never be fully repaired. Love once poisoned by betrayal can never return pure. For 3 years I loved him faithfully, trusted him blindly, sacrificed endlessly for him. But he chose his toxic family over me when it mattered most. That choice was unforgivable. Liam, I said calmly, firmly, finally free of all emotional attachment, we're done. I'm filing for divorce tomorrow. I'm pressing full criminal charges for theft, hacking, and illegal property invasion. Every legal consequence your family deserves will fall on them. I will not forgive this. I will not tolerate this. I will not stay in a marriage where I am constantly betrayed, robbed, and disrespected. Liam's face crumpled in despair. He tried to hold me, to beg me, to apologize repeatedly, but I stepped back coldly, avoiding his touch completely. I no longer wanted anything from him. I no longer wanted anything from this toxic family. Victoria screamed in outrage, "You can't divorce him. You can't sue us. You'll ruin our family's reputation. You'll destroy our social status." I smiled faintly, a cold, relieved smile. Your reputation was destroyed the second you decided to steal your daughter-in-law's life savings for your daughter's vanity. Every crime you committed is fully documented. Every scheme is recorded. Every illegal action has evidence. You chose greed over morality. Now you face the consequences. Over the following weeks, the entire elite social circle exploded with news of the Carter family's scandal. The wealthy community learned the truth about their greedy schemes, their illegal theft, their public humiliation at the luxury boutique. The perfect Carter family image completely shattered. Their social reputation collapsed overnight. They lost all charity partnerships, all business connections, all elite social respect they had spent decades building. Victoria and Haley faced formal criminal investigation. Their bank records were fully audited. Their illegal fund transfers were officially classified as felony theft. Both of them received formal court summonses, facing potential criminal records and legal fines. The frozen $1.2 million was fully returned to my private trust account legally and permanently. I suffered zero financial loss. Liam completely broke ties with his mother and sister after the scandal. He cut off all contact, moved out of the mansion, abandoned his family's toxic lifestyle, and begged daily for my forgiveness, promising endless repentance and eternal loyalty. He lost his entire family for me, yet I still refused to take him back. Love cannot be rebuilt after betrayal. Regret cannot erase harm. Apologies cannot restore broken trust. Haley's spoiled, arrogant personality collapsed completely after losing her luxury dreams and facing criminal charges. She fell into severe anxiety and depression, no longer able to show her face in high society. Victoria lost all her social power and matriarchal status, becoming a laughingstock among the city's elite families. The entire Carter family paid a brutal price for their endless greed and betrayal. As for me, I walked away clean, free, and victorious. I recovered all my wealth, ended my toxic marriage, cut off all poisonous relationships, and regained my peace and independence. I learned the hardest, but most valuable lesson of my life: never sacrifice your security, your boundaries, or your self-respect for love. Never trust a family that sees you only as a tool to exploit, a wallet to empty, and an outsider to betray. Blood is not thicker than morality. Family without loyalty is just a group of people waiting to destroy you. In the end, their greed ruined their perfect family image, their social status, their reputation, and their peace. My strength, my vigilance, and my zero tolerance for betrayal saved me from being destroyed by their toxicity. I lost a fake marriage and a fake family, but I gained back my freedom, my dignity, and my entire future. And that is the sweetest revenge of all.